Well, it's December 1st, or at least it is when this video is dropping, and you know what that means. It's finally, officially Christmas time, and so, to celebrate my favorite time of year, I have decided to hold off on all regular movie reviews, not including the new releases that come out in December, but I just want to do Christmas movies. I just want to review Christmas movies from now, December 1st, until the 15th, or 25th. I'm dyslexic this morning. I won't be reviewing a movie every single day. I'm not to that point yet. Plus, like, I have a job. I can't just focus on the, putting out Christmas movie reviews every single day. I'm just gonna do my best to keep to the same schedule that I have been doing. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, of course. But anyway, let's start off the holiday season with a film that is beloved by many, a film that I always make a point to watch early on in the Christmas season, and one that is based off of a beloved children's book. Let's all climb aboard the Polar Express. For those of you unfamiliar with the story, and actually if you are, then what the hell is wrong with you? The film is about a young boy who is at a place in his life where he's questioning the existence of Santa Claus. He wants to believe, but logic just keeps getting the best of him. And so on Christmas Eve, when everybody else is sleeping, he's awakened by a train that appears outside of his house that seems to have just, popped up through magic. And the conductor claims that the train is going to the North Pole, and the boy reluctantly climbs on. And what ensues is a journey of self-discovery and also rediscovery of the magic of Christmas. There's not too many people of note in the film. I mean, the children are okay, though there are a couple of times where I find some of the background kids really annoying, but that may mostly be because I hate kids, but that's another story for another time. But the real star of the Polar Express is Tom Hanks. I mean, it's not just because of his Oscar-winning talent, but it's the fact that he plays 6 different characters in this film, including the conductor, a homeless hitchhiker, and even the man in red himself. And Hanks just proves himself even further in this film to be a very versatile performer, giving each character a distinct voice and distinct body movements that's unique to each character to create a distinct persona for each. The Polar Express as a story is multi-layered and enchanting, and the film does a really good job at being faithful to its source material. But of course, the book really isn't very long. I think it's around 30 pages, and so they had to tack on a few things to make it feature-length. And, excuse me, while it doesn't bother me, many of the additions are they're gorgeous to look at, a lot of the additions. The film can grow tedious in a few parts between leaving the boys' home and getting to the North Pole, and hell, even some of the scenes at the North Pole can feel tedious to most people. I remember that when I was a kid, it didn't really bother me as much. It still doesn't bother me now, mainly because I was a strange kid, and I'm still a strange kid, but I remember watching the film in theaters and noticing quite a few kids start, squirming and twitching, getting restless in their seats. But like I said, the added segments, which are plenty, still don't bother me to this day. I mean, it may bother you, and of course, if your kid gets easily restless whenever there's, a lull, they're probably not going to enjoy this as much, but whenever it picks up, they'll just be like, ooh, pretty colors, pretty imagery, all that stuff, whatever goes on in kids' minds. The director, Robert Zemeckis, as well as Hanks, who also produced the film, as well as many of the other filmmakers, really do the book justice. And especially with how it looks, the midnight landscapes, the train cars, and the houses are rendered in exquisite detail, and Santa's alpine village, which is captivating and awe-inspiring. It's all very beautiful. The film honors the work of the original creator while at the same time enlarging and enhancing it. Sadly, the film is a bit dated when it comes to the animation, and this isn't a bad thing. This was the very first time that a film was made completely CGI motion capture, so the technology was still new. And while I'm not saying that the movie is bad for it, I do have to point out the issues. For instance, the Uncanny Valley. While a decent amount of time, it can look realistic with its characters, especially with Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks looks amazing in this movie, especially as the conductor. It just in a more dreamlike way, with a lot of the characters and backgrounds. You know, kind of like the book was, or at least how I remember it as a kid. There are many times where I'll look at the lead girl's face and think that she has like a doll's face, or actually quite a few of the characters look a little waxy, but if I look closely at a character's eyes, my brain starts setting off alarms basically saying, this is not real. Again, it doesn't really bother me because I know that at the time it was a budding filmmaking technique, but I know that it will bother a few people, so I do have to point that out in case you somehow haven't seen this movie. The music by Alan Silvestri is extremely enchanting, especially that one tune that's reprised constantly throughout the film. And I've basically dubbed it the main theme. I don't know if it's actually called the main theme, but I'd like to think that it is. And also my definitive Christmas song that's not like a really old Christian song like O Come All Ye Faithful, because I was raised Christian, and I do have an appreciation for many of those old-timey Christmas songs. My definitive Christmas song is Believe by Josh Groban, which was made for this movie. I absolutely love Believe. I think it's an amazing song with timeless lyrics, and I have to sing along every single time it comes on the radio, or I'm just listening to it on like Spotify, or I'm just watching the movie and it shows up at the end credits. I have to sit through until I finish the song. In the end, despite some flaws with the animation and some, I guess you could argue that there are some flaws with the story, even though I don't necessarily believe that, I absolutely love The Polar Express. Its imperfections are overwritten by its many selling points, not the least of which are its many messages about magic, wonder, and belief, which are offered in just many different ways for children of all ages, and even those skeptical grown-ups that pretty much all of us are going to become. And as I said, I really love this movie, and I'm going to give The Polar Express 4.5 reels. Well, that'll do it for me. Thank you so much for coming out and watching my first Christmas review. I will be doing more down the line, as I mentioned, but until then, please subscribe if you haven't already for more reviews and content here at Exploring Cinema. And as always, thanks for watching, and farewell until the next video.